Hello guys, what's up? Welcome to a new video, and in this video we're going to talk about the Ancient Magnus Bride, Mahoutsukai no Yome, or Mahoutsuki no Yome. Mahoutsuki no Yome. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that in Japanese, but yeah, anyway. We're going to talk about the Ancient Magnus Bride and what I think about this anime. So I've binge watched the Ancient Magnus Bride like about 2 weeks ago, and I've been really keen towards that anime just in general. I mean, it started out by me watching a video of Giguk, and he was talking about like winter anime, or was it spring anime? I don't really remember. And he praised that anime, so I was like, hey, why not watch it? And I kind of was like procrastinating watching it since a while, and I ended up watching it like 1 week ago, and I loved it. I loved every episode of it. It's a really fun anime. So yeah, I've come here to kind of like talk about it. So the Ancient Magnus Bride is an anime with many different facets, I would say. It has everything from captivating environments to a pretty solid storyline, and to really funny moments which they animated in a really clumsy way. I will show like examples of that in this video. So like in every anime review, I will start off by talking about stuff with non-spoilers. So I will talk about the art, I will talk about the cast, and I will talk about the storyline in a non-spoilers way as much as I can. So the art is very nicely made. One thing that I really love about the art is it's that it is like in an up-to-date setting. So the entire anime just kind of like is played in the UK, more specifically in the outskirts of London and like in London sometimes. And when we see the city, it's really nicely made. There's a lot of attention to detail. They kind of like went and looked at pictures and stuff like that, and they try to transmit that in the anime art. It looks really nice. It's always nice to see modern day settings of something that is not like Tokyo. And my boss just wrote me, so I'll just have to write him back. And all right. So it's always nice to see a modern day setting. It's always nice to see a city that is not like Tokyo. It's nice to see London. Would be nice to see Paris a little bit more, Berlin, maybe also some small cities somewhere around the world. Why not? It's always really refreshing to see something that is modern, up to date. Kind of like if you walk through those streets, it will kind of like remind you of that entire atmosphere. And I like that. It's really refreshing. I like it a lot. The second thing about the art is that the characters are made with a lot of attention to detail. One good thing about the characters is that they do not distinguish too much from random people on the street. So they, except Elias, but even if he's like walking around in the street, he's gonna look like a normal human being. And the main character, she says she's not like too much different from everybody else. And yeah, everybody else from the cast is really normal looking. That's pretty much it. They didn't like try to overdo them like in other anime when, you know, we see like 5 people in a Japanese classroom, and the people who have like funny clothes and funny hair, we know that those people are like plot relevant. If you see like, for example, Elise, which is a sorcerer assistant, she doesn't really differ a lot from, let's say, somebody on the street that you see inside of the anime. Yes, she's like made with more attention to detail, but they didn't like go full out on her to make her look completely different from everybody else. And number 3 about the art that I really like is how they animated really clumsy moments. They put a lot of attention to detail in that aspect. I will give you some examples right here.
これでいい経験になっただろう。彼らの多くは甘い言葉で誘惑してくる厄介なものなんだ。もっとこれから気をつけなね。
ごめんなさい。いや、一人でできます。お風呂くらい一人で。
使い勝手がわからないだろ。それに小汚いから洗ってあげるよ。ほら、 ははは。まあね。え、ひどい。でも
この変態魔法使いがそこら辺散歩でもしてきな。
And yeah, so you see, it's like really funny. I love that how careless and like how childish the anime sometimes can be perceived, and it's not like, because kind of like in the anime all the time we're talking about really serious stuff, and it's really nice to see them sometimes just having some clumsy moment, funny moments where they also like took their time to animate it in a funny way, and that's really nice from the studio. It also like makes the anime a little bit unique. So art-wise, it's really nice. Also, clothes and stuff like that. Like I said before, they don't differ a lot from normal people on the street. They just look like really normal people. And yeah, I usually look also at the clothes. Like just the way that, okay, face-wise, okay, but like their outfits. If their outfits are nice, I like it. Especially she looks like a hipster friend of mine. For real, like she just wears what a friend of mine wears, literally. And I love that. She's not overdone. I love it. Okay, so the cast. The cast is pretty nice. We have to take in consideration that the anime was only like 24 episodes or 23 episodes. I don't know, like I think it was only like 23 episodes. So they couldn't really put a lot of backstory for everybody that was part of the cast into the anime. They gave everybody who was like relevant an own part in a certain episode. Shise had the most backstories showing, and Elias had some of his backstory shown. Elias is the main mage, and Shise is the main girl. Assistant's mage assistant. Which one? I don't know. Well, the assistant, and they had shown a lot of their backstory, and okay, they're like the main characters, but the cast in general, they just really didn't have a lot of time to kind of like cover everybody's like backstory. So we can say that the cast is not too deep, and it isn't like we don't really get to know much about those people unless just a little bit here and there, but that little bit that we know is plot relevant, and it makes us understand them as people more, you know, because okay, they behave this certain way because like this happened to them a while ago, so you know, you kind of like understand them a little bit more. So they give you a little bit, but usually that little bit that they give to you has a lot of meaning and fits in the anime and what is happening at that particular time, so you can get a mental picture of them without them really telling you much about them. So again, great writing on their part. And yeah, the cast, not too deep, yet a little bit stagnant, but yet again really nice. So actually, if you're looking for a anime with a deep cast, this is not really something for you. This is more just a kind of like a quick bite talking about anime, you know, just like something to snack on the way while you're watching episode number 844 of One Piece, or like episode 900 of Detective Conan, or literally you're rewatching the entire Naruto Shippuden and shit. So yeah, definitely something nice to just kind of watch on the go. Storyline. The storyline is nice. It's not bad. The storyline, the thing about the storyline is that there is no storyline. But there is a storyline. It's kind of weird. So the storyline pretty much bases around Shise's development and the adventures on the way of Shise becoming a mage. And one thing that kind of like bothered me a little bit about the storyline was that there wasn't a clear antagonist, even though that we get it halfway through the anime. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about this a little bit later. So yeah, storyline covered. It's nice. It's not bad. Art covered. I love the art, and cast covered. The cast is not bad. So this is the part of the video where we will talk a little bit more about the anime and what it tried to transmit to me, and other stuff like that. So this part of the video is categorized in what the plot meant to me or what it tried to transmit, main characters, and the things I didn't like about the anime. So, what the plot tried to transmit to me. See, every time when I look at an anime, I try to see kind of like the bigger picture of what the creators tried to tell me with those episodes that I'm looking at. It's like when you're when you're looking at a painting or listening to some music, you kind of like try to read between the lines or try to see between the lines or whatever you wanna call it. And when I look at an anime, I try to kind of like decipher what the people who made it wanted to tell me with that. And one thing that I saw in the Ancient Magnus Bride is the fact that they want to tell you to forgive and forget, and that everyone has a reason. Also, like, I guess go with the flow, but forgive and forget and go with the flow are kind of like the same thing. So forgive and forget, and everyone has a reason. So about forgive and forget, see, a lot of stuff happened to Shisa. Shisa was a really nice girl. Shisa had a really nice family. All in Shisa's family had like the gift. They could see stuff that people don't see. They could see the ghosts and spirits and whatever. And usually her father and her mother took care of her and everything she needed. One day, Shisa's father gets a call and he disappears, together with Shisa's brother, which I think is good material for a season 2, maybe, on the horizon. I hope that will happen as soon as possible. But yeah, so Shisa's father and Shisa's brother just disappear. And her mother tries to stay strong, but her mother is like kind of like a sick woman. She's not sick in the sense of she can't walk, but she has a very fragile body. And because of the fact that she's now being put under stress of raising a child by her own and going to work and stuff all the time and trying to take care of the girl, she collapses under the entire pressure. So one day she goes to Shisa and tries to choke her to death, and she cannot do it because she's her child. So what she does is she just like backs off Shisa and jumps off the balcony, telling Shisa to forgive her. It's a really sad backstory, and a lot of stuff happened to Shisa, and also in school and stuff. And she has a kind of like fucked up backstory. But at some point, she realizes that holding a grudge against her mother will never help her. So that she came to that realization at I think at the last 2 episodes, where Shisa gets cursed by a dragon, and she wants to kind of like lift the curse. So she goes to another mage, which is like her enemy, and the mage kind of like puts the dream on her, so she gets upset and she dies. But she fights off that dream by simply forgiving and forgetting what her mother has done to her. And I think that she tells her, I will never forgive, or I will never forget, but yet I will forgive, or something like that. And yeah, forgive and forget, guys. This is like something that the anime tries to tell us. In life, like, shit will happen to us regardless who we are and what we do. At some point, shit will happen to us, and holding a grudge against what happened to us will never solve the problem. And I know it's easier said than done. I know that sometimes, like, some people completely shatter us, completely like crush us. Like, we cannot just fucking be ourselves anymore for a while when they hurt us. But we have to understand that holding a grudge will never really help us out. So yeah, forgive and forget. Nice message from the anime. And everyone has a reason. Well, when Shisa becomes like really sick of that dragon curse, the only way of lifting the dragon curse is by killing the dragon. But the dragon is Shisa's friend, or is the dragon I'm not sure. I think it was like another dragon baby. She used to play with some dragon babies at some point of the anime, and she grew really fond of dragons, and then she was like, I cannot kill a dragon baby, even though that means like taking my own life, so that will not happen. Her reason was that she felt deep appreciation for that creature, and that's why she said that. And at some point, Elias the mage, is like, you know what, fuck it, let's just kidnap Shisa's best friend and try to sacrifice her for Shisa. Now everybody could be like, oh my god, Elias, you fucking stupid bitch, how can you do it? Don't you know that this is an anime and Shisa will stop you literally at the last second and get like super upset with you, which kind of will extend the anime for like 3 or 4 episodes, and that is exactly what happens. But what I want to say with that is that Elias acted like a dickhead because he had a reason. And Ruth, Shisa's best friend, who helped Elias to kidnap the girl, he had a reason because he didn't want Shisa to die. And literally everybody in that cast had the reasons why they tried to help out Shisa. And yeah, everybody has a reason in life, guys. Whatever happens around us is either by our own sake or it is by somebody else's sake. And everybody has their own reasons. Those reasons are deeply rooted inside of us because some of our reasons just like grow on us subconsciously or consciously or whatever for years and years and years. We associate different reasons with different emotions, so whatever we do is based on our own reasoning, and whatever we do, we always think that we're doing the right thing. No matter who you ask, they always think that they're doing the right thing. And everybody has a reason. If we want to understand each other, and if we want to like go forward in whatever topic, or like in whatever happens, we have to understand each other's reasoning. And that is what the anime tries to show us, is that if we do not talk about our reasoning, if we do not talk about the emotions, bad shit is gonna happen. And that is what exactly happens in the anime, and I think that is one of the things that the anime tries to tell us, is that everyone has a reasoning, and if we want to understand that, we have to talk about it, which is like literally the only way. And yeah, so that's another thing that I think the anime tried to kind of like offer to us on a silver plate. It's like, yo, take it. Here it is. Alright, so I went through what the anime tried to transmit to me. And next is main characters. I made like a little list and some like bullet points, so I always know what I want to talk about. Okay, so the main character / cast. Well, the main characters, Shisa and Elias, even though that I talked a little bit about them, are the main reason why you're gonna watch this anime, most likely. And Elias is a really old mage. He's a demon that found a human body or some shit like that. He doesn't really remember how he became the thing he is now, but the only thing that he knows is that he's a demon trapped in a human body, or actually a demon that is not trapped in a human body, but a demon that found a human body. So Elias is just like that type of demon, and we do not get to know a lot about Elias because he doesn't even know by himself who he is and where he's from. We know that he has an adoptive brother, which is even more even more of a cuck, I would say. That's how he like describes it. But Elias' brother is actually kind of a nice guy, and yeah, we get to know just a little bit about him, but whatever we get to know is like super nice, and it makes us understand him as a person. One thing about Elias is that he is seeking to be more of a human. He's seeking more to know about like human feelings and stuff like that. So he goes out on a search to find that, and he found like Shisa, which teaches him whatever she can for him to become more of a human. And I think that is really nice because the bond created between them is really dynamic. A lot of stuff happens, and yeah, so Elias is kind of a child, but yet again he's like wise, but yet again he's a kind of a child because like he's really bad with emotions and stuff like that. So yeah, Elias is kind of like a character which can be built on in the future for more episodes. I think that they kind of left like Elias as a blank page, so they have the option of creating season 2 and season 3. So they didn't want to just like bust all their powder in like season 1, which I kind of like makes me feel like season 1 is just like the preparation for more seasons, because if you look at the entire anime and like what happens, you'll just see, okay, they're just kind of like leaving leeway, they're just kind of leaving like space for season 2 to kind of fill it up, which is super cool. I really like it. But yeah, I'm getting carried away a little bit. Shisa, on the other hand, Shisa is a character that kind of got like fucked up. Like I said before, she has a really bad story about her family, And when she comes to Elias, funny story, Elias buys Shisa in an auction, and then like he takes her home, bathes her. It's a funny moment. And Shisa just like kind of develops throughout the anime. And one thing that I love about Shisa is that she's gotten really hurt in her life, like a lot. And one moment comes that Shisa, not just one moment, many moments come where Shisa just lets her golden heart just shine. And we're like, damn, for a person that like suffered so much to be this kind-hearted, it's unbelievable. And this is what makes me love about Shisa, is just her golden heart, the person that she is. She's really authentic in the ways she is. And definitely the main reason why you're gonna watch this anime is because of Elias, and especially Shisa. And the other part of the cast is just like, the other people. The other part of the cast is nice. It's not bad. One thing that I love about the cast is just that they are really straightforward people. Like I said before, you don't get to know a lot about them, but whatever you get to know is enough for you to make kind of a mental picture of them for yourself. And so straightforward in the sense of they will tell you what their goals are, they will tell you what their motives are, and they will try to achieve that at whatever cost, and it's really nice. One person that I really like about the anime, like that is part of the cast, is Silky, the housemaiden. She's really silent, but you can see that she has a nice heart. And who else? Elise, the sorcerer assistant, is really nice. Also, who else? Well, somebody that's like super nice. The cat queen. The cat queen is like super nice. I love her. And who else? I do not really remember a lot of the people of the cast. It's been like a few days since I watched it. Kind of like binge watch it. So like when you binge watch stuff, you just kind of like forget. But yeah, I mean the cast is nice. It's not bad. Don't want to spoil it now also too much. Not that I don't remember. Like literally, I can just start talking about some random stuff at episode 15. But why do it? Why spoil it when I cannot? So yeah, the cast is good. A little bit stagnant, not so multi-layered, but again, they only had like 24 episodes. So definitely for what they've shown us in those 24 episodes, it was definitely enough for us to kind of like make a picture of them. And the last thing that I want to talk about is what I didn't like on the anime, or about the anime. And one thing that I didn't like about the anime was just like the clear absence of an antagonist. But when you think about it, the anime wasn't really made for a big old bad guy to be like the guy who these people are fighting. We're talking about a world which has magic, but there's only like a dying breed of certain people who can use and see magic. So the thing about those people is that they live a low-key life. They don't try to conquer the world or anything like that. They just try to be like themselves in their little world. They don't really give a shit about other people, which kind of like makes me feel like there's magic in real life. Who knows? Maybe we can see it. Maybe only some of us can see it, and they just kind of live a low-key life. And I completely would understand that when you think about it. But anyway, we're talking about like a world which is not at ruins or at war. We're just talking about modern day times. Literally, we're talking about if you go right now outside of your house, and I know that doesn't happen often because we didn't see the sun in years, but like if you go outside of the house, that's the world in the anime. Beside, it has magic, and you have certain people seeing that shit, and you see it in the anime. So a clear absence of an antagonist is excused because the universe is set up that way. They didn't want to make like enemy alpha that they try to hunt down. It's just a normal world with magic. That's it. And it's a really low-key setting. It's a low-key environment, and I completely love that about the anime because they didn't overdo it. And it's really cool. So the clear absence of an antagonist kind of is like understandable in the context of that anime because it was not meant to be that way. And yeah, it's really cool. Even though that if they want to like extend this anime for the future, it would be nice at some point to see an antagonist. Even though we get it in the anime, it's just kind of like halfway through. We got Joseph, or I don't know what his Bible name is or some shit like that. Somebody, I don't know. Let's just call him Joseph. Joseph is like the antagonist that kind of like wants to kill Shisa at the last 2 episodes, and yeah, he's like, he lives forever and shit, and he's looking for body parts all the time, and yeah, something like that. I don't really quite remember it anymore, but yeah. So Agnus, Ancient Magnus Bride. It's a nice anime. I will definitely rate this anime 8.5 out of 10. I know that I rated Darling in the Eggs 8.5 out of 10. I'm actually going to drop the rating because of the last 2 episodes just triggered the fuck out of me. So I'm going to drop the rating to 7 out of 10. And 8 out of 10 is something Ancient Magnus Bride deserves. And yeah. So guys, thanks for watching. Definitely recommend you watching this anime. Definitely recommend you also reading the manga, if there is one. I don't know. I didn't check on that. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And I hope I see you in the next one. Bye.